Hello, dreamers, doers, believers, and achievers, wonderful winners, and you powerful people. How are you? I'm author, teacher, speaker Dwayne Shigg, and it's time to talk about it. Tonight, we've got a very special, powerful show. I know I said that last time because I meant it last time, and I mean it this time. Tonight, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the country, wherever you are in the world. We're talking about goals and dreams, seizing your success, doing your dreams, and getting your goals. And I have some family members on tonight that are going to help us talk about that. They are veterans on what John Maxwell calls the success journey. And so we want to help you on your success journey. It may be a book, a business, losing 5 pounds, losing 10 pounds. We're going to real quickly get off that subject because I'm not doing too well on that. But but that could be your goal. Whatever it may be, going back to school, better health, better relationship, whatever your goal is, we want to help you. We want to talk about that on tonight and this episode of Talk About It. So let me introduce my family that's going to help me do this. This woman here is partially responsible for me doing what I'm doing. 15 years ago, I was scared to death on certain things. I had some blockage on overcoming some things, and this woman here helped me break through that. Miss Yolanda Bozan, author, entrepreneur, conference speaker. How you doing, Yobo?
I'm good, everybody. Look, I'm looking down because I'm sharing. That's why my eyes are going down, inviting people to come on over to the business page. But I'm doing well. Thank you so much for having me here with you tonight, Dr. Shigg. I'm proud of you, son. I'm proud of you, baby.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it because I was a mess, and she had that Christian patience with me. And so we're going to give them a chance to talk about what they do. Also, this next young lady, she is a powerful entrepreneur, worker, CEO of Think Big Educational Services, and she is her company edited my last 2 books. See, I stepped up to become more professional. I was doing it differently, but she edited my last 2 books. Her company did. Doctor, and this is a real one. This ain't no honorary one. This is the one where you went to school, did the work, wrote the paper, and the ink ran out, and you got frustrated and all that. That's the one she is. And yelling at her kids, get out while she typed the paper and all that kind of stuff. This is the real doctor, Dr. Phoenicia Muepo. How are you today?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for having me, Dr. Shigg. You are hilarious.
I am blessed to have you all here. And so what I want to do before we jump into our conversation, I want to ask, I'm going to start with Yobo. I'm sorry, with Mrs. Bozant. Is it okay if I call you Yobo?
Yobo, that's it. Y-O-B-O, Yobo.
I'm trying to be professional.
Yeah, thank you.
See, that's what you taught me. You taught me to be professional, so I'm trying to make you proud of me. Want to ask you to start, and then Dr. Muepo, just give us a quick introduction, who you are and what it is that you do.
I'm Yobo. You know what? I'm just an ordinary lady with a big, big God. I am a wife. I'm a mother. I'm a grandmother. I'm a great-grandmother. I'm a doggy mama. I write. The last few years, I've always had a hustle. I've always had a side hustle. That man over there has supported me in everything. I guess I got to do it this way to get to him. He supported me in so many of my endeavors. But currently, I'm an independent consultant for a jewelry company. I sell $5 jewelry, and I do that. Look, right here. I got a little business partner. See the little hand right here? That's my business partner right there. Got my little business partner. So that is what I do. I think I said all right. Just finished the book tonight. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus.
All right.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Good. All right, Dr. Muepo, tell us who you are and what you do.
Yes, I'm Dr. Phoenicia Muepo. I am just like Yobo, Yolanda. I am a mother, a wife, Just out there doing what I have to do. That brings me passion. That's my passion, is being an educator and being an educational consultant. So we help families with college planning, grant writing, book editing, and now we're even stepping into the realm of financial literacy, helping families restore credit, so credit
Mm.
restoration, and different other things like that. And also an investor. So I'm just doing what I know that's in me, that God has given in me, to help others and add value to other people's lives.
Add value to other people's lives. That prompts a question
Love it.
I want to talk to you about. Talking about seizing your success, accomplishing your goals, doing your dream. And success can be different things to different people. And sometimes we negate or belittle our own success because I didn't write as many books as Yobo. I didn't my business didn't bring in as much cash this quarter as Think Big Educational Services. So am I a success? So I want to ask both of you. I'm going to start with you, Yobo. Finish this sentence. Success is
Different things at different times in your life. What success is for me today may not be what success is for me next week.
oh
It's ever, and it could be the same goal, but ever changing. Some
different.
days, when I think about the most successful thing that I did, it was when my son was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. And I would say I got through that, and it was a success, because my goal, my prayer, my determination was to stand. My determination was, God, if I can just get through this, no matter what happened, let me get through this trusting you. To me, that was success. It was every day. And I'm using that as an example. So,
Okay.
sometimes success for me is, you know what? Let me sit here. Lord, don't let me cuss Sister Watermelon out. Not in the middle of church, not with all the saints. If I can leave out of there without knocking her upside the head, that is success.
Yolanda.
Woo, that was success. It's not that I read the Bible from cover to cover. It's that I didn't cuss her out in the middle of church. Now, maybe when I get home, I call on the phone to do it.
Right.
So I can always say she telling the story, I didn't do it. You can't do that stuff now because people will videotape you. It's your word against theirs. Right. But so for me, success, it's ever changing. It's never this. It's those little goals that you set.
Okay.
I think Dr. Shigg, what you said one time, and instead of eating two blueberry muffins, I'm gonna cut it down to one blueberry muffin. Right. I actually learned that from you.
Okay.
To set a goal, even if it's a little goal, but just reach that goal.
So success is, so there's no one picture of success all the time and for everybody.
That's where people get disappointed, because see, sometimes what people do, people may look at someone else's on right now. Mm-hmm. They got 867 people watching. Let's see what we have. Let me see. Hold on. We got 8 people watching. Okay. While somebody else has 867 people watching.
Right.
And people will measure their success by dude on the next page that's got the 867 people watching, not realizing that.
Hold on. I want to ask that specific question, so I don't want you to go into that right now.
Oh, okay.
Because I want to deal with that specific subject.
Okay. We in the spirit. You see, we in the spirit.
Exactly. Because I want to deal with that specific thing in a segment by itself. So I want to come back to that. Thank you. So Dr. Phoenicia, finish this sentence. Success is
being able to fail repeatedly.
See, I was about to write. I was ready.
It's being able to fail repeatedly, but still keep going until that goal is accomplished.
Shouting music. Girl, I was ready. I had my phone. I know she gonna say something good.
Fail repeatedly, but keep going.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so and again, that's connected to what we're going to talk about later on. So success is not necessarily, and Yobo, you touched on it. So I wanted to deal with that because it's not always just about business. It's not just about the book, the business, the clients. So your measure of success for today could be, I just got through the day without eating too much junk.
Mm-hmm.
So that was successful. Mm-hmm. Okay, so success is ever changing, and success is going to be different to different people. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, since we're on this, let's jump into this question because this is where we are. I want to start with you, Dr. Moepa, and then I want to go with Yobo. Tell me some good and bad of looking at other people's successes. Yobo started going there, and I want to deal with this thing specifically because sometimes we'll look at a person, even in the same category. Okay, as she alluded to, somebody's show will start off with 85 people, and mine has 13. Does that mean they're more successful? So that's going to get me depressed. I have a goal of selling 50 books a month, at least a minimum of 50 books a month, because the average self-published author maxes out like at 250 overall, period. So my goal for this book, shameless plug, is right now 50 books a month, a minimum of 50 books a month. But there's somebody that does that in a day. So are they more successful than me? So help somebody understand, with their goals, with what they're trying to accomplish, the good and the bad of looking at other people's success.
I think for me, to answer that question for us, the pros, when you compare or when you look at somebody, the good thing could be as a blueprint. There's a blueprint that person is doing that can give you tips and tools and resources, especially if it's in the same arena that you're going into. Like, for example, both of you are authors. So I can look at both of you and say, hey, Dr. Shigg and Yolanda has successfully put out books, has written books and different things like that. That's an arena that I want to get into and writing an ebook really soon. That's one of my future goals. So I can look to you guys as my resources, ask you guys questions because you've been successful in those areas of selling books on Amazon or however, doing your workshops and doing all these things. But the bad side or the cons of that of me comparing, that can mess up my mind. If I'm like looking at you guys all the time and saying, well, dang, they're selling 100 million books and I'm only selling like just 2 or one or 2, and I'm looking at that and trying to compare, and then I'm messing up my mindset on trying to compete. It was a competitive edge instead of a collaboration. And we got to move.
Wait a minute. Did you just say collaboration instead of competition?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. I'm sorry for interrupting you. Go ahead. That was just so good.
No, that's just my point. I keep hearing that phrase lately on different podcasts that I look at of people that's networking, because networking is key. And we have to move away from being competitive with one another and collaborate with one another because it's all out there for us to get. But we need to be comparing ourselves to other people and thinking theirs is better than what we have or we better than them. Let's bring it together and see how we all can maximize what we're all trying to do and share resources. Okay,
that's good. That's good. Okay, so Yobo, go on in and unpack your point that you were making earlier. In doing that, help us understand the help, the hindrance, the good and the bad of looking at what other people are doing.
Looking at other people, for number one, you don't know the work that they put in somewhere else.
Yes.
You looking at the 2021, you just never ever know. Most people that you see now, as we always said, Pastor Shigg, Dr. Shigg, that Deanna would say, it takes 20 years to be an overnight success.
Yes.
You don't have to put in 20 years of work. When you were looking at other people, when you were looking at what they did, what we don't see are the things they did when no one was looking. In order to be successful, you're going to have to put in a whole lot of work when nobody was watching. We hear preparation. Success is when preparation. Is that what it is?
Meets opportunity.
Success is when preparation meets opportunity. So we can't be looking at dude on the next channel that's got 15,000 people watching talking about the same thing, and we can go back and hit replay, and the stuff we sharing right on here is 100 times more informative than what they're watching, but it goes back to preparation meeting opportunity. In order to be a success, you're going to have to put in that work when nobody's watching. Just like little girl at the Olympics. When Simone Biles got over there and said, I feel like I'm having a mental breakdown.
Right.
The girl that had to come in and take her place, she in the backyard turning flips with nobody watching. Her moment of success, she stepped into that moment because she put in years and years and years and years of work in the background.
Okay.
So as we looking, we don't want to look at anybody else. We want to keep working, honing what we have, because baby, we got to be ready. Dr. Shigg already know. We sat up. I'm gonna say this now. He and I sat up doing a talk show for years in a little studio,
right?
With just a few people, but that gave us time to hone our skill.
Exactly.
And if we ever in the audience and Oprah Tripp coming out, guess what? What we gonna do? I'm gonna look at him like, you got it. It was us being in that little station on 68 and West that really prepared us to be able to step into whenever success knock on the door. You ain't got time to get ready, boo boo. You got to be ready.
Right. So focusing on, while we can look at some people and get some inspiration, but paying too much attention to them as it relates to how come they lost the weight and I didn't, how come their marriage is what it is and mine not, how come their book is, so that's problematic. That's not a productive thing because we don't know what they put into it.
Don't have a clue.
Exactly.
Don't have a clue what they did. And I told you all off air that once about 9-10 years ago, I was leaving my uncle's church, and this young man said to me, as it relates to me and Cheryl's marriage, he said, I want what you guys have. And as I said, at that time, I had been married 30 years. This guy wasn't even 30 years old. So he don't know the work it takes to be married 30 years. And a little while ago, we celebrated 39. And Yolanda, what are you, 41?
45.
45. Oh, my goodness, 45. And Dr. Moepo?
We're going on 19 this year.
19. Now,
and I was at her wedding. I was there. Who would have a fun wedding? Girl, y'all had a fun wedding.
To get to 19, to get to 39, to get to 45, you got to do more than just pray and I love you, baby. It takes so much more than that. But this guy, all he saw was, me and Cheryl holding hands coming out of church. Mm-hmm. But, he should have been in the car on the way to church. So the work that it takes. And the same thing with the success. So we don't really know what the other people put in to it. If you just this is talk about it. We're talking about doing your dreams and getting your goals, whatever they may be, book, business, losing 5 pounds, having a successful marriage, going back to school, whatever it is. If you have any questions, you can put them in the chat section, in the comment section on, if you're watching on my Facebook page, Dwayne Shigg, if you're watching on where the link is, my business page, Your Encouragement, you put a question in and we'll read it to our guests. But we're talking about overcoming. We're talking about accomplish your goals. And I want to ask you, starting with you, Dr. Moepo, I'm going to ask both of you the same question because as our goals are different, we have different, the principles are pretty much the same, but the journey is different. And I tell people principles don't change. Practices do, but principles don't change. And principles don't care who you are. If you jump out a window with a GED, you're going to fall just like somebody with a Ph.D. Principles don't care. And so what has been your biggest challenge in dealing with, this journey, Think Big. What has been the biggest challenge, and how did you get over it? I'm asking that because we just talked about the work, and I don't want people to get discouraged because stuff is going to happen. And you got to learn how to wipe your shoes off and keep on going.
Right.
So what has been your biggest challenge, and how did you get over it?
My biggest challenge for in starting Think Big was just a mindset shift. I had to get over, when nobody else in my family has a business, or is this going to be really successful? Different things like that. We have to get over. We have to shift our minds and block out the noise behind you or in front of you. Block it out, no matter who it is, because people, when you share your dreams and goals with people, there's vision killers.
Yeah.
So you have to block out the noise. You have to have that mindset shift change and know that that this is your goal, that this is what you want to do. So for me, I just have to block out the noise and do what it is that God gave me, that birth within me to do. And how Think Big got started was I actually called one of my uncles, and at the end of his message, when his voicemail came on, he said at the end, remember to think big. I really did not grasp that term before until when he said that, something just jumped within me. And I was like, okay, Lord, that's the name of the company.
Like Elizabeth in the Bible, your baby leaped, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Like we were just saying, Bishop Craig Johnson was just saying last Sunday, that you're pregnant with possibilities and birthing something. So at that time, Think Big was birthed. And I had to really just block out the noise and just go ahead and do it. And then at that time, I wanted to be an entrepreneur because one of my sons started having seizures at one point, and I was working full time as a teacher. And I was like, Lord, I don't want to be a full time employee right now. I want to be at home and still be able to make money. So there it was. Think Big Educational Services just started out being a one-on-one tutoring. Just starting out from there, and then from there over the years, it just grew into expanded to other things.
Okay.
So definitely mindset shift.
Okay. So Yolanda, the same thing. What has been, and so you've experienced it across different platforms. The entrepreneur salesperson, the conference speaker, the author, giving people like me a kick in the butt and say, okay, go on. So what has been your biggest challenge on your journey, and how did you get over it?
I'm going to answer that question, but I want to back that thing up to where Phoenicia left off. I just have to say this. When she talked about her business, I want to go back to the question before about success and staying with it. When she said think big, and that's when it was conceived, and then she just took it and she started the one-on-one tutoring. I just have to tell y'all, she was volunteering, doing the tutoring for the kids at church. Hello, somebody. Nobody was watching when she wasn't getting paid. I just want to throw that in there. So sometimes when it looks like things are slow for you, but because she made it work for the church, because at the church, she was then put in a position over the, what would you call it, Felicia?
Team One College Ministry. Team One College Ministry.
Then she was put over the college ministries, and she had to work that. I've been gone for 7 years. She was doing it when I left. So all that time when she was working behind the scenes, she was doing it anyway. So when her uncle said it and her baby leaped, she jumped right into it. She had been doing it, y'all. She wasn't scared to do it because she learned how to do it when nobody was watching. But to answer your question, the biggest challenge.
That's a book title.
That's somebody right there.
When nobody's watching. Okay.
Yes. Nobody watching and nobody paying.
Okay, go ahead.
She did it. Okay. Yes. But the biggest challenge for me. Ooh, you know what? I had to write what she said in my note. My biggest challenge for me was what Phoenicia said, blocking out the noise. But you know what, y'all? The noise in my head was coming from me. It wasn't coming from the naysayers out there. It was coming from me because I had this little thing called a calendar, and I had this little thing called a clock, and I had this little thing called a watch. And when you pregnant with possibility, at least you know when you're pregnant with a baby, you already know. You pretty much have an idea when you conceived, and then this baby gonna be born. When your baby due, girl, September 13th. But when you're pregnant with possibility, me and Dr. Shigg, we've been in this thing, baby, for a long time, pregnant with possibility.
Right.
For me, I was looking for an expected. The biggest challenge for me was to take my eyes was the time thing.
Okay.
Time will kill your dream. Realizing that same thing I said with Felicia. It's not that time is killing her dream. Time is preparing you for something else, to run an educational service. All the stuff you did at the church was just practice.
Right.
Now you can take it. You can take that thing and make money. But see, at the time, I didn't know all of that.
Okay.
And I'm looking like, okay, Lord, I did what you said do, and it looked like I'm broker than I was when I left my job. So for me, I had to stay committed. The challenge was knowing I could drop this and do something else and be successful. There was a whole bunch of other stuff I could do and be successful at it. But you know what? God said, you just sit right there. Just sit there. That was hard for me.
Wow. Oh, okay. Dr. Mwepu, when you were talking about there, when both of you were talking about the college ministry at church and what you were doing, one of our viewers said, she said, I know that's how her son graduated from college, by what you were doing.
Wow. Praise the Lord.
Wow.
And so she reiterated, or she validated, what you were saying. And so all those things, if you have a goal, if you have a dream, and I want to ask you this. It's kind of like in, comparing. You can't really compare your dream or your vehicle with somebody else's. Why is that? And Yobo, you can start this. Why is that? I think that's a dangerous thing to do. We all want success, but my vehicle is not what Dr. Mwepu's is. My vehicle is partly what yours is, but the selling, that's not my vehicle. And sometimes we see people in a particular car, using this as an analogy, and I can't get to where I'm going unless I'm driving that car. So why is that, if you agree with my thesis, why is that a dangerous thing to focus on somebody else's, the vehicle? Now, we talked about focusing on them as success, but now I'm talking about the specific vehicle, because somebody may try to get you to be a part of a networking thing, and it may be good, but that's not your vehicle. I tell people I got two gifts, my mouth and my mind. And that's pretty much it. I'm not a person to sell stuff in terms of, insurance or whatever, or houses. And there's nothing wrong with that. I just don't do that well. So, but, when the books aren't doing well, in the back of my mind, I might be saying, well, maybe if I had so help somebody that's looking at somebody else's vehicle to their goal or success. And if you agree with me, tell them why that's can be dangerous.
In other words, you're saying someone trying to do the copycat thing, try to do what another person did, try to duplicate what they did.
They're a good seller, so I'm gonna go sell what they sell.
Well, you know what? It's really okay. It's really okay if you want to try doing what they did. It's okay to try a bunch of different things. Because I learned this from the singer Brandy. She said the best way to figure out what to do is to first figure out what not to do. So Dr. Shigg just gave a good example. He already learned. Selling is not one of them. How does he know? He probably tried to sell some things and it didn't work. It was a struggle. So you first have to find out your gift. What really is going to come naturally for you? You're not going to figure that out overnight. You're going to have to, hold on a minute. I heard a very intelligent lady say that you may have to fail repeatedly in different things, but
Yeah.
you don't have to still keep going until you figure out what it is. You know how many people said, I just don't know my purpose. I don't know my purpose. You have to first figure out, and the only way you're going to find out some stuff is to figure out what you don't want to do. I remember moving back to Texas, and then my husband was saying, I really want to be involved in ministry. I really miss doing ministry. He found a shelter. He was going to go there, and he was going to volunteer at the shelter.
Okay.
Man, he the last 45 minutes up in there with them, with those people. He knew then what didn't work.
Right.
He said he had never been around people that were so rude, so ungrateful. I mean, next thing I know, he coming back home. I said, "What you do?" He's like, "Oh, I just couldn't do it." So you know what? He found out what didn't work. That vehicle, looking at what other people did, and then sometimes you may feel as though what you're doing is wrong because what you tried didn't work. Maybe no. You just know that particular vehicle is not for you. Get out that Pinto, baby. Go drive a Toyota or something. Go find something else until you find your lane. It's going to take a while to find it.
Right. And that lane, would you agree? And Dr. Marapo, you can pick this up, and then we've got a question from one of our viewers. That lane is likely going to be, and Yobo mentioned you were doing it, that vehicle, your vehicle to whatever it is going to be, that's probably going to be something that you're already doing and don't think much about it. Because you were volunteering after you were helping with the kids. You were already doing it. So, finding your vehicle, looking at somebody else's vehicle and finding your vehicle, you're probably already doing it to some degree. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. You have to know your specific niche. And like Yolanda was saying, when you start comparing yourself, then you get all flustered and all this kind of stuff. But when you know specifically what you can do, like if you know sales is not you, then you hire somebody to do that part for you. Or
That's
like
good.
With me, I'm not a big social media guru, but my business partner with a high school this past year in the springtime virtually, and some students was able to do some social media marketing for our business. So those are potential interns that we can hire to do some social media things for us as a business.
Okay.
So it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to do it. You know your specific niche, but where you're lacking, you can hire people to do what you need to be done, or at least have interns. Even if you can't pay them right now, depending on your budget, but have some interns come in that need hours. There's a lot of college students out there or high school students that know how to do these things.
Right.
And you just have to be open and willing to say, hey, come in and help out with this. And they'll gain the skills, and you'll learn something too along the way.
You'll learn something too. And we're going to talk about some goals also. The goal may not be business or a book, but the principles to get to that. And it's very important to understand, okay, even though it may not, you may not be getting paid monetarily right now, because ever since I was 16 years old, and most people that know me have heard this story 100 times, I wanted to be in radio. So I had an opportunity to do that. But then when Yolanda opened the door for me to be on the show with her at KTYM, that was not necessarily a paid gig, but it was on my resume. And there's some benefits from it. People heard me on the radio and all those sort of things. So it works out. And knowing and again, talking about knowing what your gift is. I want to get to, we got another young lady, Minya Cole. I want to get to her question. But knowing what your gift is, knowing what it is that you're supposed to do, it's with you. I've told this story before, and most people know it, but maybe some new listeners. When I was in high school at the greatest high school in Los Angeles, Dorsey High School, when I was there was this young lady that my brother Kenny and I knew. and she had just broken up with her boyfriend. And you know, when you're 16 years old, that's the end of the world. And so I was on one part of the campus. So he came over and got me, and he said, "I got a job for you. Your job is to go cheer her up." Now I'm 16.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't Dr. Shigg, I wasn't Reverend Shigg, I was Dwayne and some other nicknames that I had, but we're not going to talk about that. But I was just being funny. I was just helping her out. I was just doing what I do. But he knew that was in me. So 16 years old, I'm over there doing that. Now, 45 years later, that's what I do as my gift, business, videos, books. But that thing is already in you. So you got to find your vehicle, and your vehicle is likely already in you. I want to ask this question, and Yobo wants you to take it, and then if Dr. Phoenicia, you have something to add, you can do that. She says, "I would love advice on taking giant leaps of faith. I feel called to start my own business, but that's a scary thought." Welcome to the club. That's a scary thought for me because I'm a single parent. What you got to say to her, Yolanda?
Well, the thing about taking that giant leap of faith, you take that leap of faith, but depending on your age, if you're anything like me, let me just tell you, you know what? Your miracle's not going to be here by Wednesday. When you take that leap of faith, understand there is this thing called a process. And you couple the process with disappointment, you're going to have to work your way through the process and work your way through disappointment and the naysayers. Why does she do that? And I heard a preacher Sunday, Bishop Craig Johnson, say, "How do you know it's faith? Because, baby, it's going to look crazy to everybody else.
Yes.
It's going to look crazy. It's going to look crazy to you. But how do you know that it is really a leap of faith? Because it's nagging at you.
Yeah.
It's gnawing at you. And if you want to, you can just wait. You can either take the leap, or you can be like I did and just have a situation be orchestrated.
Push you out there.
You know what my son was saying when he was at boot camp in Chicago in the middle of winter for the Navy. They have you jump off a Navy ship if it's summertime, but they had this high ledge with water down. They said, "Okay, everybody jump off." He said, "Do I have to jump off?" "You ain't got to. You gonna jump off, or you gonna get pushed off." So when it comes to taking that leap, girl, you gonna take the leap, or you gonna feel something in your back like I did. It's gonna be the leap or the nudge.
Yeah, the leap or the nudge. I like that. Dr. Morepo.
Yeah, shout out to King Minya Cole. That's my co-worker. I just started a new position at another school, and she's my new colleague. So thank you, Minya, for coming on tonight. And just like Yolanda said, taking that leap of faith is the process. God is waiting on you. He's already provided. He's already made a provision for the vision that He has given you to start your company, to start your new journey. We just have to just go for it. And He will provide. Don't worry about, like Yolanda said, the naysayers. And what if I don't have the money? I'm a single parent. I got to do this all by myself. God is with you. He's going to open those doors. You're going to be having contracts with districts, doing the curriculum of whatever it is that you want to do. And you're just going to be like, "Okay, God, I trust you." It's just a matter of trust and doing it.
That's a process too, getting to the place where you can totally trust. But she's on the right path, because at least she knows what she's supposed to be doing.
Right.
Baby, that's 99% of it right there.
Exactly.
And that's true. As long as you know, when you get to the point that you know, you are sure, okay, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Then it makes it, for lack of a better term, it's not necessarily easy, but jumping off, getting pushed off is not as devastating, because, okay, I know I'm supposed to be here. This book failed, but I know I'm supposed to be writing. I've written 15 books. 6 of them probably did anything. But as long as you know what you're supposed to do, then you're out there. You can, when something doesn't go right, at least you have the satisfaction, okay, I didn't make the wrong decision.
Right.
When I went back to college as an old man to get either my master's or my doctorate, I didn't even have a job. How you gonna pay for college? You don't have no job. I didn't even have a job. My wife had a job. And that's a whole nother story. But I didn't even have a job. But this was something that I needed to, had to do. And so God provided. I got creative. I got blessed with scholarships, with different things of that nature. And so, single parent, I understand that. You said you felt called. The person that called you knows you're a single parent. Now, I'm trying to stay out of ministry. I'm trying to stay on the motivational side and not go to Pastor Shigg mode. But you said you felt called. The person that called you knows you're a single mother. The person that called you put this idea in you. Mm-hmm. So it ain't no surprise. So you just have to make up your mind. Is this something you want to do or something you have to do? And the problem with doing what we want to do, if I start because I want to, I can stop because I don't want to. But if it's something I have to do, I got to get up when I scrape my knees, wash it off and keep on going, cry, blow my nose and keep on going. I've had conferences where 2 people showed up, me and my wife. But I had to do another one later on. And so I don't want to get too preachy, but if you know beyond a shadow of a doubt this is what you're supposed to do, start. There's a quote that I heard, I think it's attributed to Arthur Ashe. Start where you are, use what you have, and do what you can.
Yeah.
So
can I say something?
Yes, go ahead.
One way of knowing, let me just read it. I feel it's a scary thought.
Yeah.
Fear will leave you when you feel that hand in the back of you pushing you. When you get that nudge, you're going to figure out a way to do it, because that man over there, y'all see, is my finger going over there toward him? If I do it,
we can't see him, but we know he's over there.
Yeah, the gentleman over there, he is the type who won't ask for help.
Yeah.
He is the type, even when you offer him help, he will decline. He is the type when he was working full time and his wife was in the hospital for months. And my sister and I offered. He'd work, then go see his wife.
Oh, you talking about me? I thought you was talking about your husband.
I was talking about my husband. I'm talking about you. We would say, stop by the house on the way home and pick up a plate of food, because we had to cook for my daddy anyway. Mm-hmm. I had to call him a couple times during the day. Drop your laundry off. We'll do the laundry.
She sure did.
I had to call him multiple times. Did you bring your laundry? Oh, he would finally bring it because he got tired of us. I had to stay on him. He's not the type to really ask for help or accept help. But when it came time for him to go back to school, he made a plea. Was this you? I'm thinking.
Yeah, that was me. That was me.
$100 asking people to sow a seed into your education. Am I right?
It was 40, but of 100 people, I asked for $40.
100 people. Okay.
Yeah.
He's the type. I couldn't get him to come over on the way home. We can cook too, okay?
Yeah.
Get him to stop by. Just do a drive-by. We would tell him, just honk the horn. We take the clothes out to him, just he'd be trying to get out the car and carry them. We try to take him a little plate of food, and for him to ask 100 maybe if it's for him to ask one person for $1 is out of character for him. But you said when you feel called to do it and you know you need to be doing it, and you don't have any money to do it, he figured out a way to do it. You get to that point, and I'm telling you, life will orchestrate those
I like that
things
word.
for you.
Oh, I like that.
Push
Orchestrate.
you
Yes.
into the next level. You're going to get there. And sometimes we do. We need that nudge. I don't know what the nudge was for him, but the fact that he made a plea to 100 people for $40, that was a whole lot for him.
Oh, definitely. And
he had to do it.
Yeah, because I needed to get that done. And so, Lady Cole, we trust that we said something that gave you a little push, gave you a little extra push. If you just joined us, this is Talk About It. We're talking about doing your dreams and getting your goals with Yolanda Bozant and Dr. Phoenicia Mwepo. Take one quick break, and we're going to jump back and get back in this conversation. As I said, this is Talking Book, and it's brought to you in part by my book, Encouragements for Tough Times. I call it Encouragements, MINTS, because sometimes you need a breath mint, sometimes you need an encouragement. One's for your mouth and one's for your mind. This book is written to help us because everybody's going through difficult times in many different ways. And so there are motivating messages in here. There's a message in here called I Can't Sing. And what that's about is when we get in trouble, we start thinking about what we can't do. I can't sing, but I can write. I can encourage people. I can't sing. I sing to my wife, and she likes it, not because it sounds good, but because she's still in love. But I can write. I can do other things that make people, to push people. And so that's one of the things we start thinking about and doing when we get into difficult times. There's a message chapter called Keep Going, and each chapter starts with an encouragement quote, an original encouragement quote like the one on page 48. It says, when growing up is consistent and giving up is resisted, going up will be existent. And so you can get your copy of Encouragements for Tough Times. You go to Amazon.com. You don't even have to remember the name of the book in the browser. Just put in my last name, Shigg. You won't get lost. There's only 3 authors on there, me, my brother, and my cousin. So you won't get lost. You can even buy some of their stuff. I'll just make them give me a cut. And so you get your copy, Encouragements for Tough Times. And if you've got a business, product, service that you want the world to know about, consider being a sponsor of the show. Contact me at drshigg@gmail.com, and we can talk about what the rates are. So contact us about that. Want to talk about, some people are working on their goals, and they may not have a business that they're doing, but okay, they want to lose some weight by the end of the month. Okay, they want to get go back to school. They want to, whatever the case may be. Like I said, I have a goal each month. I'm gonna sell 50 books. Okay, you want to lose 10 pounds. You want to do this. Whatever your particular goal is, I want to ask each of you, give me one characteristic, one thing that's imperative to have that goes across the board of whatever the goal is: losing weight, back to school, selling 50 books a month, being a better husband, whatever the case is. Give me one thing that's imperative to accomplish that one. Go with Yobo and then Dr. Mwepo.
The one thing you need, it's going to have to be reasonable. I want to lose 50 pounds, but you know what? I don't think I'm going to lose 50 pounds this week unless I lose a leg. Right? So it's going to have to be reasonable. Sometimes our goals are just what, girl,
Right.
Everybody getting married except for me. I want to be married by the end of this year. That's not reasonable when you're not even dating anybody. You can't get married, but you might end up marrying the wrong person. We're going to have to be reasonable when it comes to setting a goal.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, you would end up being disappointed because, I want to have 867 viewers on my live.
Tomorrow.
Yeah. Next month. And you ain't got 8.
Right. Okay.
Gotta be reasonable.
Possible, but reasonable. Oh, I like that. Okay. Dr. Mwepo.
I think for when you're setting goals, you have to have the action steps. A lot of people have set goals. We set goals for anything, but what action steps are you taking to reach those goals?
I prayed about it.
She's smart, y'all. She's smart.
I prayed about it, Dr. Mueller. That's my action step. I prayed.
Prayer is good. We know prayer works. But God is waiting on you to do something too. Faith is not dead, right?
Right.
So faith is action. What action steps do you need to take to lose that weight, to get those 800 followers, to write that book, to start that business, or whatever it is that you have on your plate to do? What action steps are you taking to get there?
Action steps. Oh, that is powerful, because sometimes we want to sell 50 books, but do you have any vendor things? I want to lose 10 pounds because I've got some weight that I got to lose by. I've got 5, 6. I got like 6, 7 pounds I got to lose by the end of this month, 2 weeks.
By Saturday.
Saturday.
But yeah, see, I'm going to see the Temptations this weekend, so I got to be able to fit in my Temptation suit. See, in case he calls me up on stage, you know what I'm saying? But that's not going to happen by Saturday. It may happen by the end of the month, but it's not going to happen by Saturday. So action steps, possible but reasonable. I like that. A couple more questions. I don't want to hold you too long, but I wanted to ask you. We hear a lot when it talks about goals and dreams. When people talk about that, we hear a lot about the struggle on the dream, on the goal, on the journey. It's tough on the journey. Tell me something good about your success journey, Dr. Mueller, and then Yobo. Tell me something good, because we hear war stories about the journey. It was so hard, but I made it. But as Shaka Khan would say, tell me something good. Tell me something good about the journey.
You know what? For me, it's being around like-minded people. I can't be around those that's negative and saying crazy stuff and talking crazy and all this kind of stuff. And also with the partnership, I have a wonderful partner, and that is my babe, Larry Mueller, my husband. Yes. Shout out to him. Should be on the way home from work. But anyway, that partnership and just being around like-minded people on your journey to being an entrepreneur, whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish, when you're around it, it just provides that energy and the things that you need to keep you focused on that goal. Once I know what it is that I want to accomplish, I'm like really focused. I try not to let nothing block me or block my mind, either from myself or from others, on that goal. Like, for example, I had a goal on my job to just stay in the classroom 2 to 3 years, and I was focused on that. Lo and behold, because of that strong faith in that, I just got hired in my new position, in a non-classroom position. So I reached my goal. So now I'm what they call a heat equity coach, working with teachers and supporting students in the classroom, but I'm not teaching in the classroom. So that was the goal. So staying focused, staying with like-minded people will help.
Great. Yobo, same thing. As I said, we hear war stories about the journey. Tell me something good about your journey.
The good thing about my journey is that I learned, I really evolved into a different person. There were things in me that I did not know were in me. The good thing about my journey is there are businesses that came out of me.
Wow.
Part of my journey, the thing that I hated the most was that I didn't have any friends. I really couldn't interact with people. I was stuck at my daddy's house. I couldn't go anywhere. He was an invalid. So everything evolved around him.
Okay.
And so because of that, I figured out a couple ways that I could make money.
Yes.
I just wanted to make just a little bit change. That's it, just a little bit change. And those ended up turning into a business, which later turned into my son's career. I didn't know that I could write, that I could publish books, that I could plan a conference.
Yeah.
And then planning the conference and those things That came from us being involved in the women planning those 3:30 programs in church. Don't y'all remember every Sunday there was a 3:30 program?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, planning the women's fellowship and the choir fellowship, typing up the church program, all those things that I did. Then, now I can see the things I'm doing now. It goes back to something that I did when I was volunteering. You know what? You just be surprised, as Sister Cole, Miss Cole said. Just I know I should be doing something else. You would be surprised at the door. Uh-oh.
You still here?
Yeah, sorry, y'all. I hit my hand. You'd be surprised at what's in you.
Yeah.
That you really don't know what's in the gifts that you have. And they're like, Dr. Shigg and I just doing our women's conferences and our youth conferences and the youth events. I would say those are some of the good things that came out, the ways that we were able to help people. I never knew all those things would have still been in me had I been on my job. I would have still been clocking in and clocking out. But you know what? I just talked to one of my friends. She told me she got almost $1 million in her 401k.
Wow.
She's making 6 figures. So I look at all that, but I realize what I have.
Right.
Is worth so much more than $1 million. I would still be clocking in and clocking out and still just, like this. Phoenicia would still be in the classroom.
Right.
So it's just so much more in me. God only knows what else is in there.
Yes. Definitely. I totally agree with that. So much in us.
And we don't know. And my uncle Scott always says, got to will make you do, but you have to want to.
Right.
And those, we're gonna get ready to close, but I wanted to help some people. We always hear when people talk about going after their goals, living their dreams. We always hear, the Churchill quote, and never, 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 never give up. We always heard that. And then when I heard the whole story, he was speaking at a college graduation in England somewhere. He was the keynote speaker. So he got up to the podium, looked around, and said, never, 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 never get up. And he sat down. We tell people that. One of my guests on the show last time talked about not quitting. That sounds good, but I want to ask the two of you to help somebody to not quit, to not give up. What does that look like in a practical way? Because the two of you know me, I always like to go to, okay, what are we going to do about it?
Mm-hmm.
So how do I not quit? How do I never, 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 never give up? What does that look like? Is there something I need to do? So Dr. Mwepo and then Yobo.
One of the things I'm reminded of with that question is my husband, when he was first becoming a deacon at the church, he had brought a problem or something like that to the head deacon at the time. And the deacon responded to him. He was like, don't just bring me a problem, bring me a solution. So that's just how we are now. We constantly tell our boys that, and just other people that we live by that. Let's be solution oriented. Yes, there's so many problems and challenges, but what are the solutions? What can we do right now to solve this problem? Don't get stuck in that problem, in that situation. Be mad, but don't stay mad. What is the solution? Let's be solution oriented. So that's always a helpful for us, and tips to add value to people's lives.
Be solution oriented. I like that. Both of you all knew Pastor West.
Yes.
Pastor West, when he had his meeting with his leadership, he didn't allow anybody to bring him a problem that didn't have a solution to it. So when they come in the meeting and they want to talk about what's wrong, in order to talk about what's wrong, you had to have a solution for it. So that cut down on the complaining a lot. People just complaining to be complaining, because if you're going to bring up a problem, you got to have a solution to it, or you can't say nothing about it. So what you were saying, be solution minded. Yobo, help somebody. We tell people not to quit. We tell people not to give up. But how do I do that? What does that mean in a practical sense?
It means just what you say. You can't give up. You just one more time.
Okay.
I'm gonna walk around this block one more time.
Ah.
I'm gonna write one more book. You know what? I'm still doing. Dr. Shigg and I are still doing the same things we were doing in 2002, probably when I left my job.
Right.
We pretty much are still doing the same thing. He write a book. He know he gonna sell a book because I'm gonna get the first one. I write a book. I know I'm gonna sell one because he gonna get the first one. So we know, girl, I wrote that book and nobody bought it. Well, he bought it. With the problem, and you know what? You know what I have found that helps me too. The best way to fix your problem is to concentrate on fixing somebody else's problem.
Yeah,
that's the best way to fix your what they call it. It's a fancy word for attraction marketing. The best way just do something for somebody else. That's the best way. Even if you take your phone and send them a text message. I just want to let you know. I want to let you know I watch you from a distance and I so admire you. Just go down the list.
Wow.
One day I had a problem and I was ready to quit. And this is this before we had text. And something, my husband wrote a book called Something Told Me. Something said, you know what, just send people a message and tell them something positive. And I just went down. I was going through my email and I would start, no cut and paste. No cut. I wrote a message to a lady. I've seen them. Oh, that's the buzzer going off. Anyway, yeah, that's it. Time is up. But anyway, I'm just saying something positive. You'd be surprised at the people who said, I really needed that.
Yeah. Okay. Just write one more time. Just do something. Write one more time. Walk one more time. Attitude is important. The attitude of I'm going to do this. Write one more time. And I like what you said, Yobo. That is akin to one of my favorite quotes by Zig Ziglar. He says, you can have everything in life you want if you help enough other people get what they want. And that's great. That's straight scripture. Do unto others. That's straight scripture. Given it shall be given. That's straight scripture. Exactly. And so just do it again. Just write another book. Like I said, I've written 14, 15 books. I got 2 on my computer and 1 in my head right now. But out of that 14, 6 of them, really did anything. The other 9 were learning experiences. And so, go ahead.
That's just really interesting you brought that up because I was just thinking I have the highest degree that you could attain in life, the doctorate or whatever, or people go for their Juris Doctorate. But I just really recently just made the decision to get my administrative credential. I have been just struggling with that idea of becoming a assistant principal or a principal, whatever. But I had to really just tell myself this is what's needed in the educational system. The things that God has put in me and the things that I've seen and the leadership skills that he's given me through the church and through other venues, I need to add value in that arena now. Now, when I was like, Lord, I don't want to pay for school no more. I did, got that, done that. But what are some other avenues? And I found out that our district has a tuition-free admin credentialing program.
Wow. And you never would have found that out if you just...
I never would have found that out. And then talking to my colleague who's on the call with us, Miss Cole, she's in that same program right now. So now I'm having a collaborative partnership with her to say, okay, now I know somebody's in this program that I can talk to when it's time for me to apply next year to get my admin credential.
Very good. Very good. One of the things I want to close this out. I have what I call pictures of possibility. If you have a goal that you want to meet, if it's book, if it's business, if it's losing 5 pounds, if it's this past week, I'm doing some stuff around the house. I painted the living room, the hallway, and the dining room, and all that kind of stuff. And then I got a new door, and that was one of my goals to get that completed. And so, I thought I was going to be able to do it by myself, but then when I saw the whole thing, I just, my uncle always says if money can fix it, it ain't broke. And so I had the money, so I just hired somebody to put the door in. But I still accomplished my goal. You know what I'm saying? So you have to have those goals, pictures of possibility. I look at some people. My father, the greatest man I've ever known, called him a picture of possibility. I'm talking about inspiration. I'm talking about going after goals, living your dreams. My father had 6th, 7th grade education, but he bought a couple of pieces of property, had his own business, raised 4 boys to be pretty decent young men. And my Uncle Scuffy, and there's some people I know vicariously that, and also Yolanda is one of the people that I call pictures of possibility. I told you at the top of this, she's partially responsible why I'm even doing what I'm doing right now. Just pictures of possibility. I wanted you to know, you're watching, your goal, your dream, whatever it is, if it's in you, it's possible. Mm-hmm. So it can be done, because I tell people all the time, if it has been done, that means it can be done, and it can be done by you. Want to take a couple of minutes, Yobo, Dr. Phoenicia, somebody's thinking about quitting, somebody's working on their book, working on losing 5 pounds, working on not eating blueberry muffins or bluebell ice cream. Somebody's working on their goal. Take 2 minutes and help them. And then Phoenicia, Dr. Phoenicia, do the same thing after Yobo.
Do it. Just do it. Just take that baby step. We didn't say write the book from cover to cover.
Right.
Take the paper, take a pen, write the title.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Right.
Or whatever it is, you start somewhere. Or if you feel as though I'm giving up, if you feel as though it's not working, how do you know? And I had
I like that. How do you know?
With the people how do you know? I was ready last week, but my power was out. But I was so ready, and I had written Serena Williams got an injury. So that means when she hurt her leg, someone that wasn't supposed to be in the competition then had to come out on the court and play. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? You never, ever know. Anytime you got the 2 best players out there, you going into, what do they call it? Is it the Open? Is that what it is?
Yeah, the U.S. Open or the French Open,
yeah. They got the world's 2 best players. But if one get injured, somebody else got to step in. You have to constantly keep honing your skill. Joyce Meyer, preaching at home, she said, for 5 years. Just 25 people coming for 5 years.
Wow.
Nobody even gave her $1 to buy toilet paper. But her son was at college, and at the last minute, they had this weekend event planned. At the last minute, one of the speakers couldn't come. He said, well, let me ask my mother and see if maybe she could come. So when it's looking like I'm doing this and I'm so tired, baby, you got to hang on in there. You never, ever know. Steve Harvey, a fill-in at the Apollo.
Yeah.
Last week, the power was out. Oh, I just put this on here. Last week, my power was out. I was supposed to be on last week.
Right.
And Dr. Shigg had to call somebody else. Bam. She had to be ready to jump in there. So what you have to do, if you're feeling as though you're discouraged, just like, baby, you know what, man, I'm honing my skill. I'm going to be ready. Man, please, when Harpo call me, baby, they can call me at 3:30 in the morning. Oh, I promise you. Let me just brush my teeth, wipe some of the sleep out my eye. Boo, I'm going to be ready.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Right. We've been doing this for 20 years, 19 years since I left my job. And I remember saying, I left on a prompt, just like Sister Cole said. I feel something pushing me. Well, girl, I felt something pushing me. And when I took that leap of faith, I thought it was going to happen the next week, at least by the end of the year. And then when 2, 3 years came, I remember one time I left my job October 18th, 2002. And I remember saying to myself, what if it doesn't happen in 10 years? I was about year 7. Do y'all know I almost had an anxiety attack?
Mm.
I'm sitting up here in the back room of my daddy's house in 2012. Y'all, I almost had a nervous, just the thought itself almost took me out. Guess where I was October 18th, 2012? Still in the back room of my daddy's house, taking care of an old man. Is that the promise? I didn't take the leap of faith to be changing dirty diapers all day long. So sometimes you just never know what your journey is going to be. I can look back on it now and I can see how all the pieces just fell into place. But I know what the promise was. I'm not anywhere near the promise. It has been a journey. I take my eye off the calendar and take my eye off the clock and pat myself on the back because you know what? I'm still in the race. I have not given up.
I like that.
And the main reason is you get out there far enough, you got to keep going because you ain't got nowhere to go back to.
And in the time that, and Dr. Mwepa wants you to do the same thing, but I just want to touch on what Yolanda said. In the time that she was doing that in the back of her daddy's house, she wrote 4 or 5 books. She had a blog that she did. She had a business that she did. She helped a stubborn preacher man come out of his shell. She took care of him. Her and her sister blessed him while his wife was in the hospital after having a stroke and had to force him to accept help. So helped him grow. We won't mention his name, but during that time, and that's just what she's done for me. So, you know, we could call the roll on so many other people that her and Pastor Frank have helped. And so on that journey, she did some stuff on the journey. And John Maxwell says the journey is the success. He says we get caught up in what's called destination disease. I'm going to be a success when I do this, but you're on the journey. So you're having some success on the journey.
Right.
Pushing people, helping people, writing the books, doing the conferences, the young people that she helped, all of those things. And so help somebody, Dr. Mwepa, that's on the journey, that's frustrated, that I didn't lose the 5 pounds like I was supposed to last week. Well, forget it. I'm just going to go and eat the whole pie. Or I'm not even going to go back to school. I can't get in school right now, so I'm not even going to go back to school. I'm not even going to try. I'm not even going to do that. So help somebody.
I like to share my personal mantra that I teach my boys, my students, and it's I aspire to excellence, and I don't make peace with mediocrity.
Oh, one more time.
I aspire to excellence, and I don't make peace with mediocrity.
Wow.
So I tell people, don't settle for being average. I'm not average. I don't settle for being average. You look at my life, 4 boys, no. We got goals and we got plans and we got things to do, before we leave this earth. So that we don't have time to be average.
Wow.
We got to step it up every day. Every day, step it up. Don't give up. Don't settle for less. Know your standards. Don't settle for what somebody's telling you what you need to do, or how you need to think, or what you need to pay, what they need to pay you. No, you're not average. We're not
average. I love that. Don't settle for average. I love that. That lines up with one of my encouragement quotes. Just because others don't see it doesn't mean you can't be it.
Right.
Not average. I want to thank you all for being here. I wanted you to take some time to promote what you do. Yobo, take some time and promote your business. Tell people what you do.
I just changed the heading on something. Can y'all see this? Let me see if I can get it on here. There it is. Let me turn the light up. What does it say? Can y'all read it?
Can't read it.
My journey.
I can't read it. It's a little blurry.
You can't. It's too bright.
Oh, there it is. Oh, there you go. My journey. There you go.
My journey. He just said that. He just said the journey is the goal. Hang on in there. What am I doing, y'all? I just finished the book. It is called Dinner on the Grounds. Back in the country, that's what they would call it. When the old people would bring the food to church, they would bring it in the little trunk, in the little suitcase. That's what they told me. And this back when they didn't have the fellowship halls, but just Google it and you'll see pictures, black and white churches. And everybody would spread out their little blanket. They call it Dinner on the Grounds. You just go from person to person and you would eat. So my book is Dinner on the Grounds is the title. East Texas recipes prepared the old time way. Served with precious memories from the good old days.
Ooh.
So this was the book. This was our Juneteenth book. And it's compiles of recipes and memories from the
I like that.
Texas community. Recipes and memories. So y'all, I just uploaded the book to Amazon and I'm about to upload the color version. So that's my latest project.
Okay. Anything else you want to promote?
Well, you know what? As Dr. Shigg said, I wrote my first book in the back room of my daddy's house, sitting on the bed. My husband got a bachelor's degree and 2 master's degrees on the wall.
All right.
That he got from the back room of my daddy's house. The journey. Don't be discouraged by the journey. There's a purpose in the journey.
Love it, love it, love it, love it. And all the different things on the journey. Dr. Mwepo.
I'm sorry, I was pointing at him. My battery. Let me hurry up.
Okay. Think big. So, tell us about Think Big.
Think Big, Think Big. Think Big now has a podcast, y'all. On Apple Podcasts. So please check us out. My husband and I have talked about various topics from financial literacy to identity politics to tips on nurturing children's talents. I did a mompreneur series with my best friend, Eureka, out there interviewing her about her business. So check us out on Apple Podcasts. We have some more episodes coming up. We also continue to do college planning and grant writing, book editing. So we have various coaching packages available through our website at www.thinkbigedservices.org.
So go ahead.
Go ahead. What was you going to say?
How can people reach you if they want to touch base with you for some of your services? How can they contact you?
You can contact us through email, info@thinkbigedservices.com, or through our website. I have our number, but I can't remember off the top of my head. We have a new business number, so I can put it in the chat later.
Okay.
Think Big Ed Services.
Yes.
.com.
.org.
.org.
No wonder. Okay.
Yobo, how can people contact you about your books, about they want you to come speak or anything like that? How can they reach you?
I'm right here on Facebook. I'm the only one in the world, Yolanda Bozak. Just Google my name. My number will come up, my email, everything. There's only one me. Nobody else has my name.
Oh, all right.
I'm the original.
The original. All right. That's good. Thank you so much for joining us. I want you to hold on after we sign off. We have been talking here. This is Talk About It. We talk to people. Tonight we talked about your goals, your dreams, doing your dreams, and getting your goals. I hope that something was said on this show that lets you know that the dream is doable, that the goal is gettable, that the success is seizable. You can do it. It can be done by you. Doesn't matter where you started, doesn't matter what you have to do. As I said earlier, when I went to college for my degree, I didn't even have a job. I've written books that, I've had conferences that 2 people showed up, but I had another one. I've written books that didn't do anything, but I wrote some more. And I've sold one book. I've sold 10 books at a time. I've sold more than that. So you can do it. The goal, the dream. You can follow me if you want. You can follow me on Instagram at EncourageMan, the letter N, Courage Man. Facebook, Your Encouragement, MINT, or my Facebook page, Dwayne Shigg. I'm also on LinkedIn. You can follow me on LinkedIn at EncourageMan, the letter N, Courage Man. You can see some of our other shows and our videos. I do a new encouragement video every week. You can find them on YouTube. Just go under Talk About It, Dwayne Shigg, or just Your Encouragement with Dwayne Shigg. You can find it on there. If you want to follow me, you can do that. I thank you, Yolanda. I thank you, Dr. Phoenicia. Thank you so much. And to all of you, I thank you for being with us. I thank you for being here on tonight, and want you to remember, my book is called Encouragement for Tough Times, and we're all going through tough times, but I want you to remember that, yes, times are tough, but guess what? You are too. The dream is doable, so go get it. Stay encouraged. Be blessed. See you next time.
Bye.
Hold on, Dr. Phoenicia and Yobo.
Thank you.